Hello again, my friends. This is the boy and his dog, and welcome to another episode of Ever Thoughts, where we talk about my thoughts on all things Evercade. Yesterday, when this video was meant to drop, Evercade dropped the roadmap for 2026. Well, the blank roadmap, bar the first two titles. So we know we are getting 12 carts this year, and we know what the first two are: the Taito Collection, Arcade Collection 3 and Turrican Collection. Both I'm very much looking forward to. We also now know when the collections are releasing. 2 in April, 2 in June, 2 in August, 2 in October, woo, my birthday, thank you very much, finally, and finally 2 in December. Now, they did talk about a big year this year and the cart count has gone down, but the carts coming could be really big name collections, or something else might be coming this year, like new hardware like a EXP2 or EXP Premium Ultra Big Boy Edition, or maybe some other kind of surprise. You never know. Back to the collections. What else do you think we could get? We have 10 more collections to think about. We know we are definitely getting more Neo Geo collections. I would guess at least 2, but it could be more. But we'll go with 2 for now. That leaves us with 8. Now, we could go two ways with this. We could go with what's feasible and more likely, or we could go way out there and predict something absolutely bonkers that could never possibly happen. But you never know. Because in the end, you never know. So today we are going out there with the choices of the remaining 8. So I don't think these are feasible. Well, some might be. We'll see what you think. But BTW, these aren't in the order I think they released. These are just as I thought of them. So my first choice is a 4th Taito Collection with my 2 most wished games, Rainbow Islands and Parasol Stars. If it had those 2, I don't care what else is in there. They'll just be a bonus. My second choice that I would absolutely adore, a Sonic the Hedgehog Collection. Mega Drive, Master System and maybe Game Gear iterations. Would love to play Game Gear on the XP. My third choice is staying with Sega, an 80s arcade collection. Thinking about those awesome afterburner titles, Outrun, Super Hang-On, Space Harrier. Am I right? Okay, my 4th choice is bigger and even more unrealistic. A Ridge Racer PS1 collection. Could we squeeze all 4 titles onto one cart if it was one of those Giga Kart ones? OG Ridge and Revolution aren't that big of a title, but Rage and Type 4 kind of are, so I don't know. But let's assume some magic has contained them to a single cart for this. Right, that leaves us with 4 carts. We've got to think home computer collections now, am I right? And another ridiculous ask, I'm sure. I would love an Amiga Monkey Island collection. How do you like them apples, eh? So, I'm thinking for the 10th cart, a beat 'em up series on the PS1. I've heard rumours it's about a game coming back in some form. So could we see a Battle Arena Toshinden collection? All 4 if possible, but I've only heard about the first 3 might be coming back in some form, like Tomb Raider and Soul Reaver on the PS5, etc. So it could happen. I'm not saying I think they were amazing games, but they defo hold a place in my heart from the time and the OG adverts for the original PlayStation before the console even released. If not Toshinden, maybe Croc 1 and 2 collection. That's about the moment. The updated version of Croc 1 is pretty awesome. I think there's rumours that we might be getting a Croc 2. But it would be cool to play the original on the Evercade with the rock hard tank controls. You know I'm right. Right, down to the last 2 carts. Some kind of indie collection. I'm assuming there'll be no sign of Indie Heroes Collection 5. So maybe a solo cart of a bigger indie title. I always wondered if we could ever squeeze all of Shovel Knight onto a cart. You know, if it was one of them Giga carts, I'm sure we could. And my final cart choice is a Gauntlet collection, because Gauntlet is like one of those classic titles that just should be on the Evercade. We've got most of the classic names now, with Space Invaders and Bubble Bobble coming on board in the last year. But there are still some legends to grab. We've got to get Gauntlet. Am I right? And on the side here, individual game-wise, I would still love to see at some point, and yeah, these are all PS1 games, sorry I'm a bit obvious here. Nightmare Creatures 1. I'm not bothered with 2, but Nightmare Creatures 1. Death Trap Dungeon. R-Type Delta. And G Darius, you know, the cool robot fish shoot 'em up with the big laser beams. And more than any of those, Philosoma. Oh, I fucking love that game. It's probably a bit dodged now, but like I was obsessed with it at the time. I'm just obsessed. But it's a lot of FMV, so I don't know how that will work, and it probably will look a bit rough now. But anyway, still want it. And I know there's probably no way on earth we would ever get now because of ownership and licensing and blur blur bloody blur. But anything Psygnosis would be amazing at this point. It's the final dream. Their work, their Amiga work, right through to their PlayStation work, I love it all, from Agony and Shadow the Beast 3 all the way to G-Please, the Superior Colony Wars trilogy, and Wipeout 3 Special Edition. They were the nuts, but I just know that's never going to happen. But I will always dream. So quickly, here's my ridiculous roadmap for 2026. So obviously the ones that we are having: Taito Arcade 3 Collection, Turrican Collection. I do believe we're getting a Neo Geo Arcade 4 and a Neo Geo Arcade 5. A Taito Collection 4, you know why, a Sonic Collection, a Sega 80s Arcade Collection, a Ridge Racer PS1 Collection, a Monkey Island Collection, Battle Arena Edition Collection, because I like to have something dodgy, Shovel Knight Complete Edition, and a Gauntlet Collection. But what would your list be? A realistic list, or like mine, a ridiculous one? And if there are any single big classic games you think should be on the Evercade, but still aren't, as usual, let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you like, but you know I'm just chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. Coming up is the 4th year of Evercade Retrospective. This has taken much longer than I'd originally envisioned, but it's almost finished. I had less footage than I realised, and going back through all the games of all the carts of that year took me much longer than expected due to new addiction unlocks and old ones relit I forgot about. Also, the order I thought it would be is not how it's ended up at all. It's funny how times change your feelings, and in a sense, like with films like Why Box Office is Bollocks, how you feel in the moment at the time is knee-jerk reaction, isn't it? It's only after a long time of exposure do you really realise something's worth and what it means to you. You know what I'm saying? As always, I hope your day is as awesome as you are, my friends, and until next time, be seeing you.